back. You're listening to Reclaiming My Mind. I'm your host, Jessica Vaughn, and I always like to do a little disclaimer at the beginning of the show just to let you know that this is my own private podcast. I am not representing Hillsborough County Public Schools. I am not operating this as my official elected school board member. This is my own personal podcast. These are my own views, not Hillsborough County Public Schools. I like to just get that out of the way. And today my husband and I, who's my audio engineer, are wrapping up a marathon of interviewing candidates. And we are on our third and final interview of the day. And we're very excited to have Tony Smith with us, who is running to be a Plant City Commissioner. So welcome, Tony.
Hey.
Did I leave out your middle name?
That's okay.
What's your full name that's going to be on the ballot?
Oh my. It is Tony Bernard Smith.
Like the composer.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tony Bernard Smith, who is running for Plant City City Commissioner. Am I saying that right? Because it's a little bit different.
That is correct. Okay. City Commissioner in Group 3.
Group 3. Okay. So Plant City is in Hillsborough County. Mm-hmm. In Hillsborough County, I think we have 3 cities, right? We have Tampa City, we have Temple Terrace City, and then we have Plant City. So we have 3 different cities in Hillsborough County. Okay. And that's all like East Hillsborough. Is that what you would consider Plant City?
Yes, East Hillsborough County.
Okay. And so let's first just talk a little bit about your background, right? Let's get to know Tony Bernard.
Oh my. Okay. Well, born and raised from Plant City.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Plant Cityan. As a matter of fact, my grandmother and my great grandmother picked strawberries.
Oh.
I remember that when I was a little boy.
Wow.
I used to go out to the field with them, pick strawberries. So born and raised Plant City. Graduated from Plant City High. Go Raiders. 1985. Went off to college. Came back. Moved back to Plant City in 2004. No? 2000. Yeah, 2004. Yeah, 2004. Came back. Retired from Tampa Fire Rescue. Did that for about 14 years. 14 years. Then I went into teaching for the great county of Hillsborough County Public Schools. You may know something about that.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit about that. I taught at Sly Middle at the Magnet program, medical program, and then I taught or ran the EMT program at Tampa Bay Tech.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a very popular program.
Yes. So that background, just a little bit there, went to Clark Atlanta University. And so back here in Plant City, and in 2018, I started a community program called MATES, Moving All Towards Excellence on Saturdays, where my campaign manager, Reggie Gray, and I, it was a health initiative to try to help people. It was free too, Jessica. Free.
That's a lot.
Free. If it's free, it's for me. But when we would just, do exercise programs for people, just trying to keep them healthy during around the pandemic. So country boy at heart. Don't let the bow tie fool you. Country boy at heart. So just simple, just a guy who wants to use his God-given talents and abilities to try to serve the human race.
All right. Well, that's quite a background. Very impressive. Built on, as you mentioned, service in all aspects of it, saving people's lives, educating our youth to save people's lives. But why now? What makes you at this time, in this moment that we're having politically, feel like this is the time to run for Plant City Commission?
Good question, Jessica. I feel everything about life is timing. I feel with all of my experiences that God was kind of giving me things that I needed for this moment. And I feel that Plant City, and not only Plant City, I feel like our whole nation is going through a transition. And we need honest, transparent leaders, leadership, people who can think outside of the box, who respects everybody's opinion.
For
Not saying
sure.
that we got to get along. Well, hopefully we can get along.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that we have to agree,
Right.
but everybody brings something to the table that
Mm-hmm.
must be listened to. And I just feel at this moment in time in my life where I am and what's happening in Plant City, I just feel like this is the time that Plant City needs something different. And I feel like God has equipped me with those talents and gifts. And now it's time to give it back to the people.
Okay. Well, that's a good reason. That's a compelling reason to run. So let's learn a little bit about Plant City. I'm not familiar with it as much, even though part of my district, I have Strawberry Cross, Bailey, McDonald is in Plant City. So I
Yeah.
should know more about the city commission. How many seats altogether are there?
There are 5.
There's 5 seats.
And they call them groups, seats, groups,
Gotcha.
tomato.
Okay.
But there are 5.
So do you have to live in the group that you're in order to run
No.
for it?
So it's all citywide. There's no district or, say, you wouldn't say, oh, group 1 or seat 1 is just for this section of Plant City.
Gotcha.
They all govern the whole city.
So if there were 2 seats up at this or 2 groups up at the same time, how would you choose which one? It doesn't matter. You could run for whichever one
Right.
based on who the opponent might be or whatever. That's how you would decide.
Yes, to answer your question, I'm in group 3. 3 is just always my number.
Oh, okay.
It's just the
I
number
like
of
3 too.
yes, number of completion for me, and
I am District 3, so there you go. There you go,
see?
District 3,
So
yeah.
3 is just the good number for me. And when I thought about running, I said, okay, so group 3 and group 4 is coming open. I'm gonna go to group 3. So no real strategy
Right, because
behind
the
it.
whole city votes for
Right,
it. So
right.
either way, you're beholden to all of the city residents.
Exactly.
So are you running against an incumbent or who's in the race? What does that look like as far as who your opponents are?
Well, the incumbent is not running again.
Okay.
Bill Dotson, Commissioner Bill Dotson, he is retiring after 20 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So no term limits.
No.
Okay.
I don't know if my voice and my face or my face reflected my voice, but no term limits. Well, every 3 years you will have to run again.
Okay.
So
the term itself is for
it's
3 years,
but you
can run as many times as you
many
want to
times.
for that.
Yes.
And so are there other opponents in the race?
Yes.
I'd imagine for an open group, it's got to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in my group, we have Karen Kerr, we have Boyle, Gregory Boyle, and we have, I think her name is Christina Toller.
Okay.
So those are the 4 people.
You got some opponents going.
Yeah.
And just to kind of back up, as we discussed when you first got here, there has never been a Black man who's been a city commissioner. Is that correct?
That is correct. There has never been an African American male elected to the city commissioner in Plant City. So
you would be the first.
I will be the first.
Oh, I like that. You're the only candidate today who has had that much confidence that you will be the first.
It's not cocky. I just, yeah, you have to say things.
You do. You got to manifest it.
So yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm fortunate. I was the only African American male to sit behind the dais.
I know. I interchangeably use them.
I sit on the board of adjustment, and in our last meeting, the chair did not show. I was the vice chair. So
okay.
I was the first man to handle the gavel.
So you're already kind of working within the city if you sit on one of the boards to understand the inner workings.
Yes.
What does the adjustment board do?
So the adjustment board in Plant City, we hear cases for people who I think it'll probably be better if I just give you an example.
Okay.
Let's say you have a billboard sign, you're a business, and the billboard signs through ordinance says it's only supposed to be so high, but you want it bigger. So now you got to come to the adjustment board and say, hey,
Okay.
this is why.
So if you're trying to work outside of the established parameters for whatever reason,
I
and
like
you
how
want
you broke that down,
you
Jessica.
want an
Thank you.
exemption
Keep it simple.
through the city, you would come before the board.
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you been on that board?
I just got reappointed, so this would be my second year.
Nice. Okay.
So, and like you said, I wanted to kind of get more involved in the city, in the city government, and that gave me a great opportunity to see what was going on and kind of learn some things that I didn't know about the city. So
yeah. City politics, all local politics is complex. So
indeed,
for listeners who don't know, tell me what the main jobs, what the city council does for the people who live in Plant City. How does it affect their lives every day?
Oh wow. We have enough time?
No, never. We never have enough time.
From everything from infrastructure to public safety to ordinances, everything,
budget.
every budget, every walk of life, they touch, that commission touch. So if you think, and unfortunately, that's some people don't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that happens pretty much in the city of Plant City runs through the commission some kind of way.
So does Plant City, and I don't think that they do, they don't have their own utilities, right? Like the city of Tampa has its own water. You do. You have your own water. Yes. Okay. So you have your own.
We have water.
Garbage collection, is it
garbage,
through the? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We have, only thing we don't have, of course, Tico is our
right.
Yes.
Yeah, all of us.
Jesus.
we're all tied to Tico.
Yeah, we're
regardless of how many times they want to raise our rates, right?
Oh God.
Yes. So okay, so we talked about it a little bit before we started recording, but it sounds like the mayor of Plant City first has to be a city commissioner and then is elected internally by the commission to be the mayor. Is that how it works for the Plant City mayor? Okay.
That is totally correct. So we used to have mayoral elections, and to my knowledge, not enough people came out to vote. And I kind of understand the expense of that. If hey, wow, we're going to spend $10,000 on
an election where
people coming out and vote. So they started to just elect the mayor out of the city commission. And they do that every June. So this June coming up, we'll have another, well, not we as the people, but we will have another mayor or the same mayor, but there will be a change of the mayor.
So when you're elected in April,
in June, well, in April, and we take
then you will be eligible once you take your seat to run for the mayor position.
Eligible,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
I personally, and this is probably the first time I've said this in public, but I would love to see the city get back to people choosing their mayor.
Right. Yeah.
I just think that's a fundamental right. And I think the question is, why do we have such a low turnout?
That is a good question.
And I think that's something that the commission needs to work on.
Well, my question is, because your election is in April, and we had a city of Tampa candidate come in right before you, and we were talking about how being off cycle, being off the either the midterm cycle or the presidential cycle is a challenge to get engagement, right? It's hard if your election isn't when the governor's election is happening and all the other elections, to get people to understand that there's an off schedule election and to show up. So do you get to decide that as a city council? Could you move that to, because I'm imagining it's all in the charter. I'm imagining there's a city charter that governs that, and you'd have to make changes to the charter as the commissioners.
Right. But it could be done.
Yeah, because I think that would help enhance city
Yeah,
elections, right? It's hard to get
definitely.
people.
Yeah.
So speaking about this
Great idea. Let
election,
me write that down.
speaking about this election, it's coming up so quickly. Can people even they can enroll and vote by mail for this election, right? If people want to participate, what do they need to start doing? What are the deadlines around that? What does that look like? When can people stop signing up for vote by mail for this election?
I think that the deadline to register and the changes with yes.
Vote
The
by
changes
mail.
with vote by mail.
Yes,
So I would employ every and anybody, even if you think that you're good and you're registered, you have
absolutely.
until March 6th.
Mm-hmm.
So please, 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 you can call the
Supervisor of elections.
supervisor of elections and just make sure that you are registered to vote, that you didn't have to change over, you don't have to do anything. And I hope that the people in Plant City with this election, kind of like you mentioned, being off the beaten path a little bit.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, that we're doing that. That you're calling, that you're checking to make sure that you are registered to vote. So
Yeah. And I tell everyone to sign up to vote by mail because even if you're not going to use it, you can take your ballot in and exchange it and you can vote in person, either early voting or an election day. You can still vote in person if you want to do that. But at least one, when elections are happening, because a ballot shows up in your mail and you're not like, oh, I didn't know about that. And two, it's like a sample ballot. You know everything that's going to be on
right.
it. If you don't have time to go to the supervisor of election and get your sample ballot, you can fill it out beforehand, bring it in, exchange it, and vote in person. So
And those should be coming out this week.
I got mine.
You got yours
I
already?
have mine, yeah, for the special
Wow.
election. Yeah.
Oh,
Sitting right there in the inside.
okay.
Okay, so let's talk about the platform that you're running on and why people are going to be voting for you, the big change that you're going to bring, and why people should sign up to vote by mail, why they should know that your early voting is April 3rd and 4th, and that election day is April 7th. Tell me what you're going to do when you get on that city commission.
Well, first and foremost, I want to engage the citizens a little bit more than what we've been doing as a city commission. I think that the low voting is just a referendum of just the disengagement that we have.
Yeah.
So we got to find some ways to get people more involved, interested in their own government.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I would love to see done, we don't have uh we don't have any live anything of our meetings.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah,
So unless you're in the room where it
unless you're in the
happens, you
room
have
where it
no idea
happens, you
what's
have
going
no.
on.
And I think
Okay.
that is a real big opportunity that we have to kind of get people more engaged,
Mm-hmm.
especially here in 2026, where that
You
that
could live
should
stream
be
from a phone.
right.
Yeah.
So and with that, once they get there, we do have a section of the agenda, public comment,
Mm-hmm.
and
You have to.
yeah, but we don't have engagement. And I know that that can get kind of crazy, but if it's structured right, I think that people should be able to come and ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the question can't get answered that meeting, at least they get to ask their question to
Yeah.
one of the whole board. So I'm going to be pushing for, I think that falls under transparency.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when people, when you do that, people start to say, okay, hey, okay, they're being transparent. And I feel like that will help people be more engaged. So one of the first things I want to do is just be more open, more transparent with our government and give people an opportunity to really say what's on their minds and their hearts. Because how can you serve someone if you don't know what they need?
Yeah.
The
And I
second,
think voters are hungry for that. I think you
yes,
see that everywhere.
yes. Plant City is growing. I don't know when the last time you've been in Plant City.
Well, I went to Strawberry Crest to visit my school.
Okay, that's kind
3
of on the
weeks ago.
fringes.
On the fringes, 4 weeks ago.
Do you plan on going to the Strawberry Festival?
I don't know. I just went to the fair and it was very overwhelming. So I don't know if I can do that right back to back, but maybe.
Okay. Well, Plant City has grown tremendously. Um, and with that growth comes opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Some people saying that we're overdeveloping. You hear that a lot
Sure.
right now everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I want us to make sure that we're growing responsibly, and whatever that means. If that means that maybe we need to take a moratorium for a minute, because what's happening is our infrastructure is already behind.
Mm-hmm.
So if we keep building, we're going to get further and further behind.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure that our infrastructure is keeping up with the growth.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, near and dear to my heart, is public safety. Any town that doesn't
Amen.
have a good fire, if your fire and police are not happy, the citizens are not happy.
Mm-hmm.
If fire and police is not happy, response time is
And you
not
would
happy.
know, being a
I
retired
I
fireman.
know.
Yes.
So public safety is one of the biggest things. And most cities, that's where the majority, 40% of your budget is on public safety.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Okay.
got to make sure that we're progressive.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're growing, that we can retain and recruit, and that's been a big problem in Plant City, in fire and police. I think we're on the right track now, but we got to make sure we sustain that. So public safety is definitely a big thing of mine. So those three, and last but not least, I just keep harping on just the transparency of the government.
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure that everything that we do is in light, and that we're listening to the people, because the people have a lot to say. I've
That is
just been
for
going around,
sure.
and it's amazing. And I mean, they're good ideals and good thoughts, and I'm like, wow, if we could just implement some of these things, and why isn't this coming out? And Plant City, let's see how I can put this politically correctness, or politically
I
correct.
can't even help you because I don't know where you're going.
I know. There has been, like I said, 4 of our commissioners have been there for over 25 years.
Gotcha.
So I'll just leave that. I'll just drop that in your spirit.
Well, let me ask you some questions that if I was a voter in Plant City, I would want answered.
Okay.
So this might be an elephant in the room.
Uh-oh.
I know I like to ask those hard-hitting questions. From my experience, like for the schools that I do have in Plant City, and I used to have a much larger piece of Plant City, but we redistrict, so I don't have as big of a piece anymore. But the changing landscape, aside from, I'm sure, with the gentrification of the city of Tampa and it becoming unaffordable, I know that more of our workforce has been having to move out to the outskirts of the city. So I'm sure that's changing the dynamics in general, right? You used to have, probably more established agricultural families. You had the migrant population, but now you're probably seeing a flux with all the people who are being pushed out of Tampa city limits who can't afford to live here anymore. But speaking of the migrant population, the concern that I hear when I go in my schools is we're losing students, right? That because of immigration policies that were first rolled out in Florida and are now being rolled out nationally, you see, our workforce who, again, I believe that agriculture is our second biggest, revenue in Florida, aside from tourism. The people who have actually done the work for the agriculture, as far as picking the strawberries, manning the fields, are no longer a workforce because, they're legally threatened based on their immigration status. So how would you say Plant City, from the looks of it, from somebody who doesn't live in Plant City, it looks like the agriculture is shrinking. Farms are being sold. There's less production, especially with the cold front that just happened. I'm sure is going to have a major impact on Plant City. What are your thoughts on the changing dynamics and how that affects agriculture and our students, people who live in the town? What that effect is going to look like overall?
Great question. Ooh, very complex question too. So many ways I can go through there, but um, with in terms of, let's start with just the agricultural. Yes, Plant City was, built and still, I would say, is on the side of
Mm-hmm.
agricultural. That's one of the
Strawberries
biggest
primarily,
strawberries.
right? You think
Yeah,
of Plant City.
you
Is it,
think
I
of,
think the logo is like,
yeah, yeah,
strawberry
definitely.
and
So this is
mhm.
that time of year. Um, One thing that I found interesting was happening. A lot of farmers, berry farmers, and also remember, well, if you're from here or not from here, you might remember the citrus,
Mhm.
and citrus is gone,
Yeah, it's mostly coming out of California these
right?
days.
But there were acres and acres of citrus in Plant
Mhm.
City
Yeah.
when we were growing up. And I know that a lot has to do with the canker and all like that, the
Mhm.
sores or
Yeah.
whatever. But
It's hard
a
to keep
lot
them
of
here.
that too, though, now, especially with strawberries, is those lands are being sold.
Mm.
The younger generations are saying, "Hey, I heard these acres.
Mhm.
It's because of those reasons, we don't have the workers,
Yeah.
the weather,
Mhm.
the terrorists." Did I say that real loud like that?
Wait, the
Uh,
ones that are unconstitutional
yeah, the
by the
one that,
Supreme Court, but Trump is pushing anyway.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
No,
those
okay.
those terrorists.
Gotcha.
And they find it easy to just say, "Hey, you know, let's do. I'm just gonna
Sell
sell
the
it,
land. Yeah.
right?"
Yeah.
And so we're slow. Well, I won't even say slowly. We are losing acres and acres of ag land because of that reason.
So it sounds like it's in a transition period.
Yes,
And
very
so,
much
what
so.
do you think is going to drive Plant City forward if this switches from agriculture? What can be the hook? What can be the anchor? What is going to anchor Plant City's economy as that changes?
Jessica, that is a great question. That is a great question. I've been thinking about that, and I don't know what other crop do we, but it wouldn't even be another crop because that's the same thing. But what other, um, what other thing do we have that would garner the, millions of dollars to replace strawberries?
Well, it sounds like it would be housing. Might be something, right? If
I
people are
was
are people are moving out there, I'd imagine you have to have a place for them to live. So, I would imagine building
But
sustainable housing.
the key word there,
Sustainable.
sustainable.
Mhm.
We are building, but I don't think that we're building sustainable housing. Affordability, not it's not only a national issue, it's a local issue. And we're building a lot of houses and
Mhm.
a lot of apartments. And as I drive the streets, I'm wondering, I know that we have this influx of people coming from the north
Yeah.
as well, but people get here and still say, "Wow, we can't afford to, we could have stayed where we were."
Yeah.
You know. So um well, yeah, the industrial warehouse,
Oh, okay.
um but
So go
with
more industrial instead of land.
right, but with that
Yeah.
comes your own whole nother set
Yeah,
of
because how do you get rid
problems.
of the waste when you have industrial
Exactly.
warehouses? Yeah.
And so, I think we're at this pivotal point in Plant City's future that it's going to take some real thinking outside the box and some changes that a lot of people, some people are ready for, but there's still that, the
Do you, do you feel like the sitting commissioners are talking about this and having conversation? Or are they just not addressing the issue?
I pray that they are.
Yeah.
Um, but when you don't have a monthly or quarterly state of the city,
Oh, how often are the meetings?
the meetings are every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
But that's not, I mean, yeah, you can get some information, but I feel like going back to the whole transparency piece, there should be at least, if biannually, 2 times that you just have a,
State of a union,
yeah,
kind
hey,
of a
here's where we are, here's
tell where
what
the
we're
voters.
thinking.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think we're in that awkward space that, I always said I have a 15-year-old daughter, and that's that awkward space where, you want to be cute, but you still want to be a tomboy. We're in
You're in
that,
the teenager
right, we're in the
years.
teenager years. And I think Plant City is gonna have to find a new identity and kind of reinvent itself.
And so then it needs new leadership is what you're saying.
Jessica, that's what
To help navigate
exactly,
help navigate this transition, new
exactly.
ideas,
New
new
ideas, new blood,
leadership.
new fresh just ideas, and I just feel the people that have been here for 20 plus years, you know, you just need a new perspective at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I ask you, what has been your biggest challenge on the campaign trail so far that you weren't expecting?
Apathy.
Mm.
Apathy.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Um, we're at a place where voters and just said, people are tired,
Yeah.
and they feel like, okay, the government's not, city government, nobody's listening. We're doing the same. Oh, my vote's not gonna make a difference. So it saddens me,
Mm-hmm.
but that's why I feel another reason I feel we need fresh new people, ideal, somebody who's going to inspire and engage, and definitely listen to the concerns of the people. Because the people will tell you what they want.
Yeah,
They'll
they
tell
certainly
you.
will.
They'll tell you, hey,
They will never stop
right.
telling you if you make yourself accessible.
So, but yeah, I would say apathy is the number one, and close behind apathy is the system.
Mm-hmm. Set
Hey,
up it's set up to
yeah,
fail people, I feel like.
yeah,
Everyday people is what I
yeah.
feel like.
The good system, good boy system, however you want to call it. We've been doing this for a while. We know what
Mm-hmm.
we're doing.
Yeah,
How dare you? We're gonna keep it this way, and there's nothing that you can say about it. So, and
right.
I guess they kind of go hand in hand
For
because
sure.
people I talk to, that's one of their things. Is that, hey, I talked to an 82-year-old lady who's been in Plant City all her life, and she just pulled me to the side and she said, "I admire what you're doing. I've been here all my life." I said, "How old are you?" She said, 80, 82. I'll be 83. She said, "Baby, ain't that gonna change?"
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if that inspired me or if I had mixed emotions
Right.
about that.
Right. It's
So
yeah.
yeah, but I gotta try to err on the side of, hey, we gotta try. We gotta try.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to do. If win or lose, but I shall win. But if God sees fit that there's another plan, I know that, I gave it my all, and I'll be okay with that.
So you don't even have any kind of forums, right? Where if candidates are running, they have a place to people can come see and get to know the candidates, right? There's very little. I mean, you talk about apathy and you talk about wanting to make Plant City's government more accessible and transparent that people can see it. But I think you're right. Like it's stuck in the cycle that if there's not even a forum for candidates to come speak, how do voters know who's running or any of that? So how do how does their election with no forums? I don't understand.
My my co-campaign chair, Reggie Gray, is always saying, "Man, we got to get a debate.
Yeah.
How do people know?" Jessica, at this point, I almost feel like it may be deliberate.
Are there churches out there that can host forums that are interested and willing to? Sometimes that's a
I
good
would hope,
mechanism.
but there are that whole church and state
Yeah.
thing.
And we have a lot of forums at churches here.
Well, Plant City is a little more,
Okay.
I guess, because of their 501c status.
Oh,
I've
okay.
been told
All right.
that.
Okay.
But yeah, even I was the first person to announce my candidacy and get out there
Nice.
November 7th. But I
Wow.
did that for a reason.
Uh-huh.
The qualifying period was just last week. And so
Okay.
some people just on Friday,
Always
just and
happens.
the race
Yeah.
the election is, about a month away. So I don't know if that's done. It's just not a long period of time,
Yeah.
and so it has been very trying to try to get the word out. But I have a good team, and they come up with stuff every day that, hey, we should do this, we should do that. So
And you have a lot of enthusiasm.
well, you gotta sometimes, Jessica, you got to encourage yourself.
Sometimes you do. I
Yeah.
like your
You
enthusiasm. I
have
feel
to
like it's
encourage yourself.
contagious.
Yes. So, and we hope that, people will see that. But definitely, I think some things could be changed so that
They must be changed.
must be changed
Yeah.
that will give candidates and just, the citizens time to, know their candidate and research. There are some outside entities that are doing some mixers. I'll be on a mixer
Oh, okay.
on the 10th.
Oh, is that what's his name? He does all the
Don
mixture. Yes, Don.
Don
He
Scott.
does he does all the
Yes, yes.
mixtures.
So on
Okay.
the 10th,
Okay.
myself and Cameron Henry will
That's March
be
10th?
March 10th,
Okay.
6 o'clock at 1916 in Plant City. It's an Irish pub
Oh,
right
okay.
there. So we'll be there,
That's good.
meeting and greeting. And so we've just been everywhere, all over the city. Yesterday we had a meet and greet at a city pub, Three Hands Meat. Have you ever? You're a wine drinker? I know we shouldn't probably be
I'm
talking about this.
not.
Okay,
I'm
good.
not.
Well, the
You
only
can
reason
talk
I
about it. People
say
drink.
that,
It's legal.
okay, the only reason I say that because they make it out of honey.
Oh, well, I
It's
might drink
different.
some honey wine. I love some honey.
Oh, it's different. It's so different. It's
Oh,
so good.
okay.
But we had a meet and greet there on
Uh-huh.
yesterday. So we've just been going around the city wherever we can, corners, billboards.
So I'm wondering if there's an opportunity, and this is just, the way my brain works. If Plant City is in kind of a renaissance where it's going to be changing,
Mhm.
just knowing, my schools out there, the few that I have, how strong they are. I wonder if there's an opportunity to really invest in making an educational hub. And if there are shrinking lands and you can't use it for agriculture, maybe it becomes a place where you train farmers who want to go on to other places. Or as you mentioned, if you need strong firefighters and police officers, there's a similar to a tech academy there where you're training the EMT force. I'm wondering if there's an opportunity to make Plant City an educational hub of some sorts.
I love that idea. Well, we just opened up the Rick Lot.
I do. That's a technical center,
Yeah, it's a
right?
technical center. I would love to see us do something though with medical since we have a hospital there. And
Is there no medical in there? I
no,
haven't
not
had a
right
chance to.
now.
So
No,
that's an opportunity,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
nor fire or police academy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, hopefully I'm hoping that those programs will come there and hopefully that could feed our need
Yeah.
for public safety officers and that type of thing. But that's a great
Or
idea.
putting an IB elementary middle school that feeds into the
And
high
we
school
need a
out
school.
there,
I think we're supposed to be getting a new high school out by North Park Owls, I-4.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love how we can already start to work together and address some of the problems and brainstorm in real time some ideas for Plant City. I would love to talk forever because you're just giving me life with all your enthusiasm over here. But
You got about 50
unfortunately,
seconds.
we have a little bit of more time. But before we end the show, is there anything that you want to say? Anything we haven't talked about? Anything you want to share with listeners to, one, educate them, tell them why they need to vote for you, and three, get them to the polls where it seems like there's very little engagement?
Wow. Well, just to give the information, April 3rd and 4th is early voting. And it will be done at City Hall in Plant City. And of
Okay, so
course,
all early voting is done at City
yes.
Hall. Okay.
And on the 7th, of course, is voting day. That's also going to be at City Hall.
That's the only place people can go and vote for on election day is one location? Wow. Okay. For 20,000 voters. Maybe that's another thing you can.
And hopefully the 20,000 are going to show up. And let me tell them why they should show up this time.
Okay.
Um, Plant City, like I said, is going through a big change. We've definitely seen a lot of things happen in the last, say, 3 to 5 years. But do we have the foresight to see what's going to happen in the next 5 years? What do you want, Plant City? Do you want to do what we've been doing and getting pretty much the same results? Or do you want a new perspective? Do you want a government that is responsive to your needs? Do you want a government that is going to listen to you and give you the opportunity to speak and to ask questions? It's one thing to speak, but it's one thing to get questions. The Bible says, without knowledge, lack of knowledge, my people will perish. So I feel that our voting demographic is dying because of a lack of knowledge, but the opportunity to get that knowledge, I feel like we as the government, as the city government, we have to do a better job at listening to our people. And if I am voted in, and when I am voted in, not being cocky, but just confidence, because I believe in faith and I believe that God has a calling for me to do this. We will do that. I will do that. I will make sure that we are listening to your concerns. Your concerns is my concerns. I live in Plant City. I live on Alabama Street. Those of you who live in Plant City, so I'm in the belly of the beast. So I feel your pains. I have the same concerns that you do. So I'm asking you, if you want someone who is going to listen, someone who is going to fight for your right to be heard, that would be me, Tony B. That kind of rhymed, didn't it? All right.
Tony B.
B.
Smith.
Smith. I am running for City Commissioner, Plant City, seat 3. And I must add, my campaign slogan is Better Together. Better Together. And I'm going to give a shout out to Cameron Henry, who is running in seat 4. Our campaigns are going to be kind of crisscrossing because we feel like we are better together. She was the front runner of last year's campaign and almost won that race. She only lost by about 300.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's back in the race
Good
as
for
well.
her.
Yeah.
I love that. I love when people don't give up,
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to run several times. All right. Well, Tony B. Smith, retired firefighter and paramedic, former educator, public servant, and community leader, which is all right here on your brochure. I love that. Community leader. Thank you so much. If you want to get involved,
having me.
Of course. If you want to get involved in Tony's campaign, you can go to electtonysmith.com, make a donation.
Please
I'm sure
do.
you're ready for volunteers to come on some street corners, knock some doors,
Yes.
do some phone banking. Hopefully you have some phone banks set up. Call some voters, tell them why they should vote for you. And don't be apathetic. Get involved.
Yes.
Right? Plant City elections have low turnout. Sounds like Plant City has the smallest turnout. It's not fair when, a small handful of people are making all the decisions and controlling everything for, that city. So
sounds familiar.
if you live there, get engaged in this election and vote for Tony, right? Vote for Tony.
Indeed. Indeed.
All right. Well, thank you
Jessica. I
again.
appreciate
Thank you. Thank you so
Yes.
much. All right. You've been listening to Reclaiming My Mind. This is Jessica Vaughn. Thanks so much for listening. Reminder, sign up for Vote by Mail. Know when your elections are. Make sure you know who your elected officials are. You can go to the supervisor of election and figure out who represents you in the state house, Florida legislation, all the way down to water and soil. Make sure you know who your representatives are when they're up for election, who's running, and that you're making the best choice and that you're empowering yourself and your community by voting. Thanks again so much for listening. Thank you, Tony, and have a great day.